Okay, just a little reflection for us today, because I would love us to take this one to prayer. We're talking a lot about the Sacred Heart of Jesus, and this archdiocese is consecrated to the Sacred Heart. The nation is consecrated to the Sacred Heart. We're enthroning the Sacred Heart in our homes. A lot of us did the novena. I want to make sure we know why. As we talked about, well, we're doing this because we want to be on the same page that the Lord is in terms of what he's doing in Western Oregon. That's absolutely true, but that's an external reality. When we speak of the heart in Catholicism, we speak of it in the same way that the Hebrews did, our predecessors. For them, the heart was the core of the person. It was the deepest center of who you really are. And so when we speak of like Jesus revealing his Sacred Heart to us, he's showing us who he really is. He's an eternal fire of divine love that's willing to do anything, absolutely anything, to get us to himself forever. That's a totally unfathomable reality. We can't fully understand it now, and we won't even fully understand it forever, because he's infinite. But we don't have to understand it. All we have to do is receive it. So that becomes the question. If that's the core of all reality, the burning fire of divine love coming from the heart of Jesus, and we don't have to understand it because we can't, but we do need to align ourselves with it in some way. Like, what does that look like? How do we actually receive it? We receive it by choosing to become like Jesus. The fire of divine love is constantly pouring out of his divine heart onto us. But if we're not like him, if there's dissimilarity in us, if there's a mismatch, anywhere there's a mismatch, that's the place his love can't reach. Not because it's not powerful enough to get there. It's just because in that place, we've chosen something other than him to fulfill us in complete freedom. And that's the trick of sin. Like, it promises what it can't deliver. So we're miserable in some way, or we're sad in some way, or we have an unfulfilled desire in some way, and sin comes along and says, hey, I can fix that for you. I can fulfill you. I can make you feel better. I can take care of the whole thing. And so then we fall for it, right? We sound like that internally. We're like, I need something. Give me something. And we're like, anything. And sin comes along. I got some. Okay, great. Boom. And you like put it in there, and then it just leaves us more miserable than before when we did that thing. The end state is just always worse. The path for us as modern disciples of Jesus isn't some like new and complicated thing. Some like fancy something that we've figured out recently. It's what it's always been. It's recognizing that Jesus is the path, that he is the way. We become his disciples and we receive his love by becoming like him, but not like we're following like a formula, and if we do the formula right, then we get what we want at the end. There's no relationship in that. We become like him by exposing ourselves to his presence. This is the core of it. In prayer, in the sacraments, in mutual loving relationships that he's put into our lives, willfully exposing ourselves to his presence. And there, in that place, that's where our burdens get lifted. That's where we can take his yoke on that's easy and light when there's a match. And the amazing thing about it is when he reveals that heart in that place, God of the universe, power itself, he's meek and he's humble. That's the secret that isn't a secret. It's only the meek and the humble that can become like Jesus, that can match him. If God Almighty, walking around on the earth, was meek and humble of heart, that's the path for us too. Pride, which we all fall into, it's actually the root architecture of all sin, is like the perfect repellent for the presence and the love of God. Because there's no pride in him. He has everything, owns everything, has control of everything. No pride. And so if we engage in pride in some sort of deep and complicated way, it says through us, I don't need you, I got it all figured out. We want to become the kind of people like Jesus was, in his humanity even. So the reflection question for our prayer time this week is simple. Where is pride, the root architecture of all sin, of everything that's contrary to goodness and truth and beauty and love himself? Where's pride making me resemble Jesus less? What part of me resembles him less? Where is it blocking me from receiving the full force of the fire of his divine love? Let's take that to prayer, posed, as always, with trusting curiosity, never self-condemnation.